Hey everybody, welcome to my Raw review for tonight's Raw, which just ended a few moments ago. And I have to say it was an okay Raw, pretty good Raw. I mean, I know not many people will agree on that, but I thought it was a pretty good Raw. First of all, we start off with, of course, Nexus in the ring bragging about what they did last week and how people always said, after SummerSlam they'd fall apart and all that, but, and then Randy Orton comes out, interrupts a promo, and then the fucking general manager, and I have to agree with the adult demographic TV and anybody else that complains about this whole thing with the whole do-do-do deal is getting fucking annoying. If they don't reveal who the general manager is soon, I am going to fucking scream. I don't know. But anyway, the general manager basically says, okay, Nexus, does agree that, yeah, Nexus last week was a historic night for you, but as a group, it was historic, but we're going to see what you guys can do individually. So he basically puts two matches together. Justin Gabriel against John Cena, Wade Barrett against Randy Orton. But with the stipulation that they will be one-on-one matches and Nexus is banned from ringside. And quite honestly, I'll tell you this. It seems to me that the storyline with Nexus is when they're a group, they can hang, but individually they can have good matches, but they always end up losing. It's like to me, it's like Nexus, like I was saying, Nexus as a group is dominant storyline-wise, and individually, one-on-one, they can have good matches, but the inexperience is always going to hit them with a loss. So that's what I look at it. But anyway, that's what happened. Then the first match of the night is Chris Jericho, John Morrison, and then once again, the general manager comes on and says, Chris, what you and Edge did last week by walking out of the match was a slap in the face to us, and a slap in the face to WWE, to me. So here's the deal. You guys don't beat your opponents tonight, right? You're out of the six-pack challenge at Night of Champions. So Chris Jericho basically is not happy about this, wants to know who the general manager is. Michael says, I don't know. So out comes his opponent, which is John Morrison. They have a pretty good match, back and forth. And believe it or not, Chris Jericho does live up to what a lot of people say about him. He did put over John Morrison. John Morrison beat Chris Jericho. So Chris Jericho, as of now, is out of the six-pack challenge. But I seriously doubt he's going to be out for long, because next week's Raw Roulette from Cincinnati, this WWE's version of Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal from WCW, I've got a feeling that next week Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal, Raw Roulette kind of thing is going to get Jericho back in. Anyway, Jericho ends up losing the match, just distraught, kind of like, he doesn't know what to do next. And then after that we have a Divas match. We have a Divas match between Melina and Alicia Fox for the Divas Championship. Alicia, give her credit, actually came out and did a bit of a promo a little bit. Did a bit of a promo, if you will. Sorry about that, but she did a bit of a promo. She comes out and says, basically tells Melina, oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, Melina, but you're not going to go to Night of Champions and face Lay Cool. I am. And basically Alicia Fox puts this little promo. She's going down to the ring for a match, saying that not only is she going to beat Melina for the Divas title, but she's going to roll in the Night of Champions, beat Lay Cool, whichever member it may be, and then be the undisputed, undefined women's champion. So, but anyway, the match gets started, and they have a decent Divas match. I have to say it's pretty decent. I think, Alicia may not be that experienced, may not, it may still have a lot to learn, but, she gave a decent match with Melina, and Melina does win, so Melina is still on track to face whoever Lay Cool chooses to face Melina. And I still think it's going to be a triple threat match. I just got that feeling. I don't know why. And then, what else? Oh yeah, then we have John Cena versus Justin Gabriel. I think that's the next match of the night. I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's John Cena and Justin Gabriel. And it's a good match. It's a good match, back and forth. And of course, John Cena does win by hitting the attitude adjustment from the second rope. That's right, from the second turnbuckle rope. And wins the match. So John Cena gets momentum there. And Nexus loses. Justin Gabriel. Give Justin Gabriel credit. The guy can wrestle. The guy can go. It doesn't matter against who his opponent is. The guy can go. But yeah, John Cena does end up winning. Justin Gabriel loses. And then we have a promo in the ring with Miz. I think it's about a 15-minute promo with Miz, basically saying the same thing he has said before, week after week, month after month. He's basically overall saying, basically saying what the critics and the fans have said about him, that, oh, he's from the real world, he's not going to last, he should go back to MTV, blah, 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 and how he's proven them all wrong by not only lasting, but by becoming United States champion and being Mr. Money in the Bank. But what I like about this, though, is he doesn't say, start off by saying he's the Miz. He actually starts out by saying his real name, Mike Mizanin. So that's pretty cool. But he goes on this little, rant and all that, and how, he's proven everybody wrong, and that he's earned the right to say he's the Miz and he's awesome. And then out comes Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan actually congratulates Miz and says, yeah, Miz, you're right, And he kind of compares both of them, how both he and Miz to each other by saying, yeah, we both kind of come from separate backgrounds. Similar backgrounds. Both people said I would never make it, but I have. You've made it, you have. People said you wouldn't make it, but you have. He basically kind of says they got similarities. Miz doesn't think they do, but Daniel Bryan kind of says, touche, touche, I didn't accomplish what you did here, but we do still have some similarities. And then Daniel Bryan says, but there is one thing he believes. He knows he can do that the Miz has not been able to do, and that's beat the Miz. Daniel Bryan basically challenges the Miz to a U.S. title match at Night of Champions. Miz accepts, saying he's going to annihilate them. This leads to kind of a brawl, and then out of the stands, out of the crowd, comes Alex Riley, and then he gets trapped in the crossface by Daniel Bryan, and Miz doesn't do anything to help him. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen there with Alex Riley. But yeah, the match is set. Daniel Bryan will face the Miz as we expected at Night of Champions. And then we have Edge versus the Great Khali. Edge actually had a backstage promo earlier with Zack Ryder. Edge wanted to face Zack Ryder, but General Manager, whoever it is, says, oh no, you're facing Great Khali. And Edge tries to win by countout. General Manager does his doo-doo thing again and says, sorry Edge, you're not going to win that way. We're going to change things up. It's going to be no DQ. It's going to be over the top. So Edge is not happy about this, but he does manage to fucking win. And I love Michael Cole. He kind of points at the fact that Khali went over the top rope first time, and that thus he eliminated himself. But then the second time, Edge was able to pull his leg down and pull Khali out of the match. Out of the ring and win. And Edge, I like how they're doing Edge right now. He's sort of like a tweener heel, sort of like a tween heel, if you will, a tweener. In between, kind of like a good heel, or a humorous heel, or something like that. Because he's out back, he's in the backstage area, he's like Ryder looking around saying, Jim, you'll be here, you'll be here. Because he wants to know who it is too. And he even swears that if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to break the computer. And the GM also, because of this, starts texting Michael Cole by phone saying, okay, here's what I want you to announce. And the announcement that is made for later that night, for next week in Cincinnati, is John Cena will face either Randy Orton or Wade Barrett. And then of course that leads us into the main event between Randy Orton and Wade Barrett, which was an okay main event. And then Darren Young comes out after Wade Barrett tosses Randy to the outside, and basically Darren Young comes out and says, hey, you think you can toss me out without me coming back and without some consequences? You're wrong. Basically says, hey, and basically kind of ends it by saying, I'm not the weak link of Nexus, I'm the missing link. So it makes me think that maybe Darren might go back to Nexus, but I've got a feeling there's going to be something that there's something there. They're going to do something with Darren Young and Nexus and Wade Barrett. I just got that feeling. But Randy Orton, because of this distraction, does end up hitting the RKO on Wade Barrett, gets the win. He kind of suckers, if you will, Darren Young in, hits him with the RKO. Edge comes in, tries to spear him. He gets hit with an RKO. Sheamus tries to hit him with a boot. He gets hit with an RKO. And then we have the stare-off at the end of Raw between Orton and Cena for next week. So, besides all that, it was a pretty decent Raw. They did have, between Raw, they did have promos and, for the movie Legendary, as well as NXT Divas Edition. And I like how they kind of changed it up now, because you don't see the 6'9" woman, Isis, anymore. But overall, it was an okay Raw. I'll give it about a 7 out of 10. I know people might give it lower than that, but really, it kind of continued the stories, gave us some decent matches this week. I mean, I will say that. So, and as far as ADTV, adult demographic guys, I love your show. There's no doubt about it, and I'll let you know this: Bound for Glory is a triple threat match. Let me do three-way dance. I'll put it like that: three-way dance, triple threat for the world title at Bound for Glory. That's all I'm going to say. Think of it, watch it yourselves this Thursday, and you'll see what I mean. Until next time, I'll talk to you all later.